Robert Rivas Radio, Tejano, and much more.
Robert Rivas Radio, Tejano, and much more. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Frank Tovar of Los Tovares Brothers to my morning show. Buenos días, amigo.
Good morning, Robert. ¿Cómo estás?
Okay, amigo. How about yourself?
I've been doing good, gracias a Dios. Everything's been doing good. You know, everything's staying busy and just working and playing the way I like to say, you know.
Well, yes, Frank, dude, I've got to applaud your efforts and what you guys are doing, porque everywhere I go, people are talking and they say Los Tovares, que Los Tovares, y Los Tovares, man, and you got to go see Los Tovares, and that's awesome, dude. You guys are keeping busy. Congratulations.
Yes, gracias a Dios, that we've been able to stay busy with, different venues that we're playing, and it depends on the venue we're playing and the genre of music that we're going to play, you know. Be it Tejano, be it cumbia, be it country. We try to please the people and try to play what they want to hear, you know.
I really like what you guys are doing, but even on your business cards, you have a two-sided business card, one for Los Tovares and then the Tovares Brothers. That's actually Tovares Brothers Band and Los Tovares. So look, either way, hasta, you need to get a third card, MC Frank Tovar. Hip-hop, también, ¿no?
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different places that we play at, and they want to know what the name of the band is. And sometimes we're playing our country bars, and we'll go by the Tovar Brothers. But if we're playing, like a boda or a nightclub, a Tejano club, we'll go by Los Tovares, So yeah, it just depends,
Amigo, when I last saw you, you were playing at Country Girls?
Whiskey Girls.
Whiskey Girls, Country Girls, Tejano Girls, Whiskey Girls, there we go. And I even apologize to you, porque, dude, I haven't seen you guys perform forever, and that's sad, pero también no vivo en el pedo como vivía en el pedo. Ya me calmé un poquito. But I got to tell you, man, your concert was very, very enjoyable. I liked it a lot. I liked that you guys not only play Tejano, but you play country. And it's not only that you're playing it, but you play it very, very well.
Oh, well, thank you. I got some really talented musicians that back us up. And, one of the guys have been with me, almost 15 years. Yeah, me and my brother Santos are still the ones that have Los Tovares, because me and him are the ones that are keeping the band. Because, just a short, brief history, the band started back in 74, más o menos. I was real young. Me and my brother were real young. I had older brothers. So there was actually 6 of us that were in the band back then. And los 6 hermanos. And, as the time went on, my brothers got older, and they decided they just wanted to retire, and do their own thing. And so, all my older brothers get some todos retirados, and they're enjoying life, they're enjoying life. But me and Santos are still keeping the band going.
Now, Frank, Los Tovares Brothers, you're the original band members. It's not like if your father or your tío passed it on to you guys. You started the band, ¿verdad?
Actually, my dad started it with my brothers, with us.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, my dad back in the early 70s. Actually, the music's been in my family all my life. And then, every time that there was a little party, whatever, how we are. Everybody gets together. They want to take out the guitar and sing like Oridor y todo. So we would do that quite often. And then my older brother, Greg, he decided that why don't we just make it a band? Let's make a band. Why not? Everybody's doing it. Back in the 70s, everybody's making a band, So
might as well get paid for it. Yeah, Frank? Might as well get paid for it, right?
Yeah, because we were, we started as Los Conjuntos Los Hermanos Tovar. Okay. And there was 4 main guys, and then me, my brother, Johnny, and myself, we would just play rhythm, just the background con las maracas and the congas or whatever, just playing rhythm and then percussion. And then little by little, I started doing just the background vocals, And ya nos fuimos. We just kept, the music going, and people kept calling, and up to now, we're still playing. Gracias a Dios.
Frank, bands come and go, clubs come and go, radio stations come and go, and Los Tovares are still here, amigo?
Well, I thank God for that, and that's the main person that I think, that we're able to do it, and he gives us the talent and the strength, because, we're getting older, and it's not easy anymore the way it used to be, So we do our own production. We have the troca, and we lower our instruments, we put our own sound, our lights, and everything. We're not a band that you got to have, we'll go play for you, but you got to provide the sound system. No, we do everything. We're turnkey. In other words, we're from top to bottom, we're the band,
I really like what your concept of it's either Los Tovares or the Tovares brother. I love that concept, dude, porque, one way or the other, you're going to cover the gig, ¿me entiendes? You're going to cover it now. Where did this idea come from? When did this idea, okay, you know what, guys, maybe we can do country, but we can also do Tejano. We can go either way on this. Where did this come from?
Well, I was born in the 60s, but I grew up in the 70s. But as a little boy, my influence was both, the Mexican and the American side, And the Sundays we would watch, the Mexican shows with all the mariachis and everything like that. And then back then you would turn on Hee Haw. You would turn the Glenn Campbell show,
Hee Haw.
Johnny Cash show. I'm serious,
Sure.
And that's where all the big time country artists from back then. And we always loved the music. All of us loved country and all kinds of music, country. It's hard for me to say that we loved Tejano back then because back then they say a lot of Tejano, Back then when we started, Tejano wasn't really Tejano yet. We were
called it with Chicano music?
It started as Spanish music, then Mexican music, then Chicano music, then the onda, then it finally got to the Tejano music, So we rode all the ways, We rode all the ways as far as the music Tejano music trying to establish itself, It started off, with all the old guys that you hear, it's all true, Sonny, Agustin, Freddie, all those guys that were the pioneers that started Tejano music with the horns and everything like that. And then we did that too, because I actually, we had a horn section in the band también, when we started también. I played trombone, and then for a while we had another guy that was playing saxophone with us también. And we did all the ways, lo que venía, we even did the tropical music back then, from the Farfisa sounding organ, back then, just the Yamaha organ, we did all that, You have to, because if you're going to be a band and you're trying to stay afloat, as far as trying to keep competitive with everybody else, you got to do what people want to hear,
Refresh my memory, dude. Just whatever you can remember. I'm very old school también. Just out of curiosity, can you name some of the places you were playing at in the 70s and 80s, dude? Just that you can remember.
As far as we're different than, what they call the big bands, because we were actually a local band, but we were able to, I guess hold our own, We started, and the very first club we started was called La Chiquita Lounge. It's a little bar that it was a little bar that my dad's compadre had.
Okay, sure.
And it was right there on Hopkins and Durango, close to where the Alamo Dome is now.
Montal Puente, where the bridge is?
Yeah, right around that area. Yes, sir.
Okay.
A little bar. We would go play there, and we'd do our, Friday or Saturday night gigs. There was another place called the Miramar.
Of course, downtown, right? Downtown.
Downtown, yes, sir, in Houston and Florida.
Upstairs.
Right, and it was upstairs,
Yeah. Wow.
It was upstairs, and we played there, and man, talk about being a kid, being 13, 14, 15 years old, and doing that scene, playing the clubs, so young. But the thing was, I was able to do it because I was with my brothers, my older brothers. So they took, they took care of me. They took care of me and my younger brothers. And my mom and my dad let us do it because my dad was era músico también, My dad, and they were, that rest is so, Tovar. And he was from Laredo, and his brothers and family, they were musicians from Laredo, but then they were actually, had, the way it is now, with bands and short. They would play, at La Casa. But, the music was always in his blood, and then he passed it on to us. And that's when we started. And then another club was right the same area downtown, El Papagayo. I'm talking back in the 70s.
That one I don't remember.
It was actually down the street, on Houston Street.
Frank, Frank, let me tell you just a quick little, dude, the very first time I went to the Miramar, I was underage. I was 17. I went in there, man, and with my ear too. I don't know what it was. They had some DJ playing there, and I remember going and sitting down there, and I got a beer, underage, still chingon. I'm sitting down, and there was this lady, dude, and I'll never forget this about the Miramar. There was this lady that was sitting down with a little bassinet for the baby. She had a baby right next to her.
Oh, yeah.
And mind you, the guys would ask her to dance, and she put the baby on top of the table. Y se iba a bailar, vato. And she comes back.
That's the way it is. That's the way it was back then, you know.
And then it got a little bit worse because then about an hour later after that, some guy entró, ya sabes como vez en cuando, entran vendiendo tacos y tamales, right? Stuff like that. Yeah. Well, over here, somebody walked in and they were going, gorditas para las gorditas, gorditas para las gorditas. I said, mira, se lo van a ganar chingazos. Somebody's going to beat this guy out here, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that was a wild bar.
El Miramar. Give me the palabra, like I said, you're talking to somebody, dude, when I started DJing, that way you can have a little heads up. When I started DJing, one of my first bars was a place called the Lonely Ladies Lounge. So look, I know about these little congalitos, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was another place that we used to play. It was on Culebra Road. Se llamaba the Ulala.
Oh, yeah, sure. The Ulala? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did our time at the Escondida Lounge, Escondida Bar, El Jorongo Escondido. That was in the 70s, you know, and then time went on. You know, we played so many, like when you say bars come and go, you know, and then there's certain ones that stay in your memory, like the R&R, you know, back in the
R&R Bar and Grill. Nunca tocaron en La Bamba. Nunca tocaron La Bamba.
We played La Bamba, yeah, over there for the Gentleman's Mother, right?
There you go. Locomotion.
I
remember Locomotion.
I think Ephraim, the guy who owned it was Ephraim, I think it was the owner back then. Locomotion, con el art. And then that place was called, actually before it was Locomotion, it was called G's Lounge. We played there when it was called the G's Lounge. And then Locomotion came in. Y luego they changed it to Checkers. And then they changed to Peppers. Yeah. So we wrote all those clubs, you know. The thing is, you know, we're from the southeast side of Gado Barrio, you know. That's where we live. So that actually bar was actually in our neighborhood. So we would, every time it opened, we always say, hey, you know.
Amigo, did y'all ever play at T-Town?
No, we never played T-Town. T-Town always had their policy that you had to have a big name record label behind you, otherwise, you know, you couldn't play it. So that was.
I'm very surprised because I DJ'd there. I was there for 2.5 from day one till it ended, and I would help some of the bands go in there. But like I said, I'm very, very surprised because our Wednesday nights we will put some local bands in there. I'm very surprised you didn't play there on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, well, there's places that, you know, that we always tried to get into, but you just couldn't get in there at the time. But that was fine because we always stayed busy. There was always somewhere that we could play. We always found somewhere to play, you know.
Frank,
and they're talking about your people would call you for the private parties, your quinceaneras and your bodas and your birthday parties and then the festivals, you know, and everything. So, you know, there's always somewhere you can play, you know.
Amigo, have y'all ever been signed to a record label?
No, we've never been signed to a record label. Mainly probably because, you know, we want to do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to be dictated to what you're going to do, it's where you're going to go, where you can play, where you can't play, you know.
Of course, and Frank, don't get me wrong, te pregunto esto porque fíjate, there are people that have been signed, they sign, they go, they disappear, you don't see them no more. It doesn't, and I'm going to go back to what I told you from the beginning. No le hace, los Tovares are still there. They don't need a record label to survive, and you guys are surviving and moving forward, and you're still here.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, amigo, that's what it's all about, man. You're still here.
I guess, you know, we're what you call just an independent. We're an independent label. We've done several CDs, and you know, I mean, we've done when it started back in the day. You know, we did 45s, and we did cassettes, and then we're doing CDs. We haven't done CD in a while because now everything's internet, and anything somebody wants to hear you, all you gotta do is turn on the internet, and they'll put you live on Facebook or whatever. You know, so that's a good thing because it, you know, once the internet and Facebook came around. It just like opened up a whole new genre, a whole new area for you to play as long as you take advantage of it, you know.
Did you feel a lot of pressure? Did you and the band feel a lot of pressure when y'all made the transition, in a sense, going from, let's just say, it's one thing for a band to do a mix of Tejano and country and throw in a couple of dance songs, but for a band like Los Tovares, you know, being, I'll go Tejano, we'll go Chicano, however you want to go about it, and then saying, you know what, we're going to make a transition to where if we need to do one gig of puro C&W, country western, we're going to do it. Was there a lot of pressure on y'all for that?
Not really, because we had been playing country music since we started. So we already had más o menos a repertoire and a library of our country music that we knew we could do a full set of country music for the whole night, you know. that we had to. The thing was trying to get into the country venues. You know what I'm saying?
With the name of Perales, con más ganas, ¿verdad?
Exactly. And once we got, so that's why actually the Tovar Brothers band came around. Because it was easier for me to talk to the managers and say, well, we can go by the Tovar Brothers or Los Tovares, however you want. Well, we'll call you the Tovar Brothers, all right? And then next thing you know, they still know us as Los Tovares. It doesn't matter where we play, country or whatever. The Americanos Bolivianos, they still call us, Los Tovares, because that's who we are, Sure, so, but then, people that heard us for the first time, they know us as Tovar Brothers, So it depends who you ask, I mean, but no, as far as trying to do a country venue for the whole night, no. We knew we could do it all along,
How many people are in the band?
Right now, at the present time, we have my brother Santos on the drums, Santos Tovar. We have Tony Cisneros. He plays the guitar. He's the one that's been with us about 15 years. He's been a real good solid loyal member. We have Jose Macias on accordion, real good known accordionist around San Antonio. And we have Steve Ross on the bass. If you don't know who Steve Ross on bass is, man, nobody. Right. So that's the core of the band right there. And then keyboard. So we're right now, as far as on the fence of trying to keep a keyboard in or not. But I'm trying to find a steady keyboard player that I can say he's with us. But basically we have a 5-member core right now.
And that's great, man. And you guys are busy every weekend. What about?
Yes, sir. Usually we're all. Most of us work, maybe one of the guys is retired, but most of us have regular jobs at work. So we do our job during the day, and then, we go to, do our gigs in the evening. If it's going to be a Thursday or a Friday, most of our gigs are Friday and Saturdays. But a veces sí nos hablan on a Thursday or they call us on a Sunday. So it depends, like this weekend we're having Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
It's a friend, people fail to realize, and I'm sure they see it with you guys like other bands, but regardless, they fail to realize, when a band shows up at a certain time to set up, hook up, speaker, sound check, you perform. Once you're done, you got to unhook up, unwire, roll out the speakers, load up, and it's trabajo, dude. It's trabajo.
A lot of people say, well, you got to make it. Well, yeah. I play for free. I get paid for setting up and tearing down. But the way you say, it is hard work, and it's not. It's for us. The gig's not over when we finish at 1 or 1:30 in the morning. Nobody, we're almost done. We're gonna finish now. At the best time, to pack it up. And I give a lot of credit to our wives that have supported us and let us do this, all these years. That it takes a special kind of woman to put up with a musician,
Frank,
and
you know what, dude?
That,
You know what, dude? I have said this too many times, and I stand by it. Is that I've always said that it's very, very hard to have a marriage, even have a girlfriend, if you're in the music business. It's. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just very, very hard. It really is. But it's possible. It's just a tough situation. It really is.
You gotta have that that woman that'll want to let you do what you want to do.
Yeah. And like I said, and how long have you been married, Frank?
And this coming June, me and my wife Sylvia will be married 34 years.
Woohoo! Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Dude, I know people that haven't been married 34 minutes.
and well, like you say, it's funny how you say that. That we've played since, like I said, the mid '70s, and we've done quinceañera, we've done bodas, and we still get people that come up to us and say, hey, you played at my wedding back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or we have people that were playing the quinceañeras that were doing their daughters' quinceañeras now, So it comes back to you, and we have fans that have been around us, for a long time. We have fans that still come see us since the '80s that they're still coming around to see us.
Frank, if somebody wants to contact you to book you for a wedding, a debut, for a club, whatever the case may be, any kind of information, where can they go to?
They can go to my website, lostovares.com, or they can look us up on Facebook, or they can look me up on my email, tovarfrank62 at yahoo.com, or they can also call me on my cell, 210-859-9995.
And what was that phone number again, Frank?
210-859-9995.
There you go. Now, Frank, any last words for your fans, for the people that have known you for a long time, for your new fans, for people that should be following you? Any last words for them?
Well, I just want to thank, everybody for giving us the support that they've given us throughout all these years. I want to especially thank our families, my brothers and my sisters. Even though my brothers are retired, they still support us. They still go to our gigs, If I can quickly acknowledge my brothers that were in the band back then. Era Goyo, I'm going to call them by the way we call each other. Era Goyo, Chavo, Joe, Johnny, Tovar. And me and Santos are still, running the band, And I want to thank, my wife, Sylvia, and Santos' wife, Linda, for letting us, do what we do,
Sure.
And I want to thank all the fans that always support us. They always go to our shows, and be it a Tejano, bar or a Tejano club or a quinceañera or a country bar, an festival, whatever. I appreciate it so much that they go and show up all the time and give us their support,
That's awesome, Frank. Frank, thank you so very much. And this is way overdue for us to do this interview. Thank you so very much for being part of my morning show, amigo.
I appreciate it, Robert. Hopefully, I'll see you again real soon at one of our shows. And I invite your fans to look us up and come to our shows, and I think they'll be surprised what they see.
Awesome. Thank you, senor.
Yes, sir. God bless you.